Hey there, be sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Hey friends, how we doing out there in crypto land? I'm hoping you can hear me. Having all kind of technical issues today, but looks like we're back online, so I'm gonna just do a little quick sound check and then I'll get started. All right, looks like we have sound. Looks like we have everything we need. Let's have a look at BTC USD. Looking at support down at the 58,129.12. Resistance up there at the 59.373. For BTC USD, did get above that 100-day moving average, riding right along there. We'll switch over to the 4-hour for you, give you a better look at that. We did get the 12 and the, I should say the 100-day 26 cross, so we are getting support off of that as well. Let's move on to Ethereum. Ethereum having a good day. Got up there with the double top, still trying to beat our way on through there, folks. So looking down at support at the 1907.04. Resistance going to be there at the 1983.03 for ETH USD. Moving on to BNB USD. Binance Coin having a really good run here. We're making our way up to the all-time high. Let's see if we'll zoom out here, see if we can spot that. Yeah, there it is, way up there. So got some room to run for BNB USD. Switch it back over to the 4-hour. So let's find a support level. Trying to put some support down. There we go. Gonna have your first level support at the 332.891. If you're in this one, I would recommend putting a stop loss underneath there somewhere. Should it try to go to the downside there, we are overbought. So BNB looking mighty strong. We'll put the support slightly up above there as we make the climb up to a new all-time high for Binance Coin. Let's move on to ADA, Cardano. Very tight range here. We've been in this tight range for some time. So looking at support down at the 1.1796, resistance at the 1.9490 for ADA Cardano. Moving on to DOT USD. There we are at the support level 37.5917. Whoops, we missed that one. Sorry about that. Let's get there. There we are. Looks like we're going to come down and retest that fib retracement, the 50 fib there. But meanwhile, support at the 36.888, resistance up at the 38.8653 for PolkaDot DOT USD. Let's move on to Litecoin LTC USD. Holding support there at the 201.64 and resistance at the 204.92 for Litecoin. Moving on to Link, L-I-N-K, USD, Chainlink. Holding support right there at the 29.876, resistance at the 30.7113 for L-I-N-K, USD. We did get the 26 and 100-day cross. We'll keep an eye out on that as we move forward. Moving on to Stellar, XLM, USD. Stellar going stellar. Busting through that resistance. So we're going to find one. Next level is going to be right up there at the 0.456412. So got some wiggle room for Stellar. And we see, now we don't have the all-time high. That was 0.6083 USD. We are overbought, so keep an eye on that, folks. And looking down at support, let's get into the 1 hour so we can dial that in a little bit for you. There we go. See if we can get over to that rascal. There we are. Support as is at the 0.42260 for Stellar. Moving on to Vechain, VET USD. Vechain looking a little bit weak here, so keep an eye out for that. Support down at the 0.0869. And we'll switch back to the 4-hour. See where we're at. Resistance right there on that 26-day moving average up at the 0.0892. Moving on to VTHO USD. Still managed to stop out on there. So we're going to be out of that trade till we can regroup there. And then we're going to have support down at the, trying to hold right there at the 0.0133. Resistance all the way back up right there. I guess that's the next level. So that would be 0.148. 0.0148. Moving on to FIL, FIL USD. FIL getting a double bottom right there, just on that 0.382 Fibonacci retracement. So support at the 181.428. Got the all-time high there in our sights, and then first level resistance at the 196.241. Moving on to IOTA, Internet of Things. There we go. We'll massage that just a little bit. Support at the 1.5467 and resistance up there to 16030. Moving on to comp. Comp got up to the sales target, so congratulations if you got in on that one. Looking at support to hold at the 434.656, and going to find some resistance right in that wick of that previous high right there, 454.603. We are slightly overbought still, so that needs to calm down just a little bit for the RSI. We did get the golden cross, the 100-day cross over the 26, so still looking pretty good shape for comp, COMP, USD. Moving on to basic, I get your attention coin. BAT, finding support as we try to, those two moving averages, 12, 26-day moving averages, trying to converge. So looking at support at the 1.134 and resistance at the 1.635. Moving on to Ethereum Classic. ETC trying to break out. Winding up. Support there at the 14.117. Resistance at 14.447. Trailing this rascal with a stop loss. I'm going to try to squeeze a little bit more out of this particular trade for my particular self. I'm going to put that just beneath this 12-day moving average right there. We are overbought, so watch that RSI as we move forward to MANA USDC. We have support at the 1.001, resistance at the 1.063 for MANA. Moving on to ZIL USD. ZIL resistance at the, I can move that one just a tinge more. There we go. Resistance up at the 0.17832, support down at the 0.17252 for ZIL USD. Moving on to NU. NU has support just beneath this 26-day moving average as all three of these converge on each other. So watch out closely. And resistance up at the 0.599033. There's your support right there to 0.5758 for NU. Moving on to NMR USD. Got on top of that 12-day moving average, so things are looking mighty fine. We have support at the 52.822. Resistance up there on that high at the 55.211. Let's have a look at GRT USD. GRT USD. Got support. Look for that 26-day or the 12-day to hold us up there. So support around the 1.737, resistance 1.795 for GRT USD. As you probably notice, all these the change percentages have gone red and green. The time for TradingView resets the time. I think it's at 7 Central Time, so we're just starting fresh for that calculation. So where were we? Let's find support at the 1.737, resistance at the 1.795 for GRT. Moving on to Uniswap UNI USD. Uniswap holding that support at the 28.67, resistance at the 29. If you're driving in a car, listen to this. I bet you almost swerved when you thought I said 58. That would be awesome. Let's move on to AAVE USD. We have support at the 377.176, resistance. Gonna first be, where we go? There we go. Right there at the 383.20. Moving on to MKR. MKR support. We had this one previously marked. I know those right there. 2249.1980. Resistance up there at the 2321.71 for MKR USD. Came out of the overbought, but we're still up there on that top range of that RSI. So just keep a watch on that as we continue to audio. Very tight range here. Can't seem to break out for a while, so it's winding up for something. Support down to 2.978, so right there at that $3 psychological, and resistance 3.238 as we're underneath the 1226, so that's giving us a little grief as we try to move forward. Moving on to CHZ USD. Support at the 0.4797, resistance at, going to be right there on the wicks of that little doji right there at the 0.4933 for CHZ USD. Moving on to Theta. Theta has support at the 11.217, coming down, probably going to test this 100-day moving average, so keep an eye on that. And resistance up here at the 12.218 for Theta. Moving on to ENJ USD. We have support at the 2.4203, resistance coming in at the, there we go, 2.5048. Moving on to ONE USD, Harmony 1. Support down there at the 0.1730, resistance at the 0.1955. STORJ having a good run here. Coming down, test that support as it sits right on that 12-day moving average. We don't have the 100-day moving average since this was relatively newly added. And resistance is going to be, we'll split that up on the 1 hour, see if we can find something a little bit closer to shoot for. There we go. Resistance over here at the 3.13. Then we'll have a quick look at the Bitcoin dominance. Did fall off, shed about 0.5%. And then looking over at the total market cap, there we are, the 1,834 billion. So steadily increasing as more accumulation continues. Folks, that does it for me. I appreciate you sticking it out with me. I apologize for being late. Lots of technical issues to deal with today, so that's how it goes sometimes. But have a good one. We'll see you out there soon.